Hello everyone, my name is Enteropeptidase, but I also go by Enterokinase. You can call me whichever you want, it doesn't really matter to me. So, a lot of people, scientists, professors, and whatnot, they all really wanted to know about my life for some reason. So, here I go. I have two younger siblings named chymotrypsin and trypsin. They basically copy everything I do. It's so annoying. Because they copy everything I do, all my friends make fun of us and call us the type 2 serine protease family. Anyway, my typical day starts when food comes into my neighborhood in the duodenum, the small intestine, and my friend, duodenase, wakes me up and helps me change out of my pro-enteropeptidase jammies and into my work clothes. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you what I do. You can just call me the world's most professional activator? Yeah, total dream job, huh? So I have a few special residues that I was born with. The aspartate 102, the histine 57, and the serine 195. And just because I was born with these things, people just forced me to start activating my brother trypsin. Did they ask me if I wanted to activate him? No, they just told me I was good at it. So I had to do it for the benefit of our host, whatever that means. So all I do every single day of my life is to wake up my lazy brother while he's still in his trypsinogen form and help him into his trypsin form so that he can go ahead and activate everybody else, including my brother chymotrypsin, the neighbors of the carboxypeptidases, the elastases, the lipases, and basically my entire neighborhood of digestive enzymes. So as you can see, I've got a lot of problems in my life. But actually my job isn't too hard. As much as I may hate it, I'm really good at activating trypsin. First, just to make sure I'm not activating the wrong protein, I find these birthmarks that trypsinogen has. He has these 4 distinct aspartate residues, followed by a lysine residue. Whenever I get too close to his birthmark, I have these residues that get all tingly and electrostatic-y. Can you guess which residues they are? I'll give you a hint. Aspartates have negative charges, so my residues should have positive charges. And which ones have positive charges? Well, I can't actually tell if you got it right, but my tingly residues are arginine 60, lysine 96, and lysine 99. Once my positive residues interact with trypsinogen's lysine residues, I basically have him in a headlock. He won't be able to get out till I'm done with him. I then use my renowned aspartate 102, histine 57, and serine 195 residues to act as my catalytic triad, and basically just cut him right after his little aspartate residues. During my little wrestle with him, he can get a little squirmy in his tetrahedral intermediate phase. So I use the nitrogens on my glycine 193 and serine 195 to stabilize him. Although it works really well, everyone else thought I was being too rough on trypsin by not letting him move. So they called it my oxyanion hole move. Oh. Anyway, once I cut him in half, I let him go and he goes off to do his own work. But he basically does the exact same thing as I do. So unoriginal, but whatever. You only copy the best, right? Alright, so that's what I do normally, but sometimes I can get a little messed up. That's what people call congenital enteropeptidase deficiency. This rarely happens. I think there's some statistic like there are only 13 confirmed cases since 1969. It's an autosomal recessive disease, which means that my specific gene needs to be messed up on both alleles for it to occur. My DNA got messed up in this one family and caused a cytosine to become a guanine, which resulted in a stop codon forming where my serine was supposed to be. So then of course, I was missing half my residues, and I couldn't really do my job all that well. On the other allele, a cysteine got changed to a thymine, which caused my arginine residue to turn into a stop codon. And so I was still missing half my residues, and I couldn't function. And so if I can't function and do my job, then I can't activate trypsin, and then he won't be able to activate anyone else in the neighborhood. So if you can guess, our host basically ends up having a lot of trouble breaking down proteins and fats and stuff. So as babies, they aren't really healthy and have diarrhea all the time, and sometimes they have swelling in different parts of their body. It's okay though, because all the smart doctors and the scientists, they came up with like this pancreatic enzyme replacement therapy, which is just basically giving the digestive enzymes that they made in and took out of pigs. Yep, pigs. Alternatively, the infants, they can be given a formula where the proteins and the fats are already broken down for them. Alright, so my hosts will have to take this stuff for the rest of their lives, right? Wrong! Turns out, when the little babies become big adults, they end up perfectly fine. Why? Well, I'm not too sure. But sometimes my brother can, get himself out of bed, albeit really, really slowly. And then once he's active, he can actually activate other trypsins. So it turns out this super rare disease doesn't really cause many problems after the baby phase. So I'm basically unneeded. Wow. Great to be me, isn't it? Maybe that's why I'm so pessimistic all the time. Alright, whatever. I'm done. Peace out, guys. Good luck on your lives.